Hi everyone, it's Toby from Toby's Urban Sketch and thank you for joining me for another little sketching video. So this is a 10-minute really loose sketch, and in it I'm going to talk to you about why sketch loose. And apart from, obviously, because I love sketching loose, there's a few other quite good reasons why you might want to sketch loose. And so in this video we will cover lots of different reasons why to sketch loose and how it creates really fun and interesting art. The reference I'm using is this, which is a town called Huntingdon. It's the high street there with All Saints Church just on the left hand side. So without further ado, let's have a little squiz over to the sketching and see what we're doing and why we're sketching so loose. So we're now in my little sketchbook here. This is my A5 Moleskine sketchbook. And you can see it's filled with loose sketches. Some are ink and watercolour. Sometimes I'm just using pages to try out little techniques, see how much I can get my colours to granulate and just have a bit of fun. And really, I said, I'm not going to use because I like it as a reason, but in art, if you're going to do something, do it because you want to, do it because you enjoy it. So actually, if you like sketching loose, then the only reason you need to continue sketching loose is because it's fun, because you enjoy it. So just do it. But there are more reasons, and I did promise some more reasons. So let's get into the other good, if not better, reasons. I'm sketching here with my Lamy extra fine fountain pen, and you can see I'm moving my lines. I'm wibbling wobbling them, and I can put a huge wibble and wobble in. I can put in little loops and things which make no sense, and yet it works. As we build up this scene, those wibbles and wobbles, they disappear into the background and they add a bit of character and interest. So why do they work? Why is it that sketching like this lets us get away with so much? Well, it's because it's already loose. So what that means, and what my second very good reason for sketching loose is, it means you get away with mistakes. You can, cover up where you've gone wrong, but also not just get away with it, because you're constantly thinking about your line. You're constantly moving your line a little bit here, a little bit there. You'll notice mistakes. You'll notice when you're going wrong, and you'll be able to correct it. You might leave a loop on the page. You might leave a little bit of evidence of it, but it doesn't matter. And you'll have found that mistake before it did matter, before it was huge and just sort of made the image unusable. So by sketching loose, by wobbling, by always thinking a little bit about our lines, we'll find we're spotting those mistakes before they're a problem, finding them and making them disappear into the background. And instead of, not even just disappear, making them part of the image, part of the fun. Now the other thing about sketching loose and always thinking about your line and always moving it is that you're always making decisions. Now that might be a decision about a mistake you've made. How do I correct this? Or, how do I leave it into the background? It might be a decision about leaving out details. How much do I need to do? It might even be a decision about inventing something. Maybe you want some people in, but you're always doing something. You're making decisions. And what is loose sketching? Well, it's sketching which doesn't rigidly correspond to the world or the reference image in front of you. So for it to be loose, you must have made a load of decisions. And that means we're being creative. We're not just copying. We are making a load of stuff up. We are putting ourselves, our personality on the page, and we're deciding what we like and what we don't like, and then doing that. Well, presumably, hopefully, doing the former. We're doing what we like. So reason number 3 for sketching loose is because it means you get to be creative. You get to make decisions, whether they're right or wrong to other people. They're your decisions, they're your creativity, and you had fun or learnt something doing it. So that moves us neatly and conveniently onto reason number 4 for sketching loose. And what you'll see is we're only about 4 minutes into sketching and we're almost finished. We've got a a scene in front of us, something which resembles the entire street that we've got in our reference image. And how did we do it so quickly? Well, we did it so quickly because we're being loose. We are making decisions. We are leaving things out. We are adding things when it's convenient or when we think it adds to the image. And we're not worried about finding every detail and spending forever. So reason number 4 is that it's quick and it's convenient. And this has lots of benefits. So firstly, I can do one sketch very quickly. Secondly, I could repeat this sketch. I could have fun. And in fact, I am going to repeat it. I've already repeated it, in fact. I've made it into a much bigger A3 sketch, which I'm going to share with you guys later on my channel as well in a follow-up video to show how I go from a small to a big sketch. But more to the point, as sketchers and urban sketchers, we might want to get outside. And when you're outside, you're uncomfortable. But if you can sketch quickly, you can be uncomfortable for a short period of time. In the UK, it's very cold, and you can see how many layers I'm having to wear to do my sketching outside. But despite that, because I sketch loose in this cold weather, it's been as cold as 4 degrees Celsius, and yes, I'm a bit of an odd bloke, but despite that, I've got out and I've done 9 or 10 sketches in the last couple of days out and about, and then I've come back and I've added some colour to them and had fun and developed my art in different ways than normal. So by going down a quicker sketching route, it means we're not beholden to the weather. It means we're not beholden to meetings and to life. It means that we can be open to creating whenever we want. So now let's have a little think about colours and why sketch loose with colours. Well, for me, sketching loose with colours has many of the same benefits. So I'm not going to repeat them, but obviously it means we're making decisions. It means that we are doing things which aren't real. It means that we are having fun and that it's quick. But for me, sketching loosely with watercolours has another really key benefit, really exciting possibility with watercolours, more so even perhaps than any other medium. And that is that, no one wants you to know, but watercolours, they just want to paint themselves. The looser we are, the more we let the watercolours do their thing. And what's magic about watercolours? Well, it's in the name. It's the water. They respond so amazingly to water. But we can't control that. Well, I say we can't control it. Of course, we can control it to some degree. So I certainly feel I have a better ability to control and predict than I used to. But even then, when I just splattered on the page there, I didn't know what's going to happen. I could predict approximately what's going to happen, but I didn't know. But by allowing the watercolours to paint themselves, by being loose with the watercolours, by giving them freedom, I get some of the most incredible effects that I've ever got in my painting. Certainly far more exciting, far more interesting, and far more fascinating than when I spend 2 or 3 hours doing a really tight, perfect painting. And again, we get back to it, but I just don't enjoy spending that long. I much prefer doing these little quick sketches and moving on to the next one or repeating it in a different way. So by being loose, and it's the same, with other media as well, like even with our inks, for example, and with playing with acrylics and playing with oils. But I think although it can be the same in these other mediums, it's so much more true that by being loose with watercolours, we're getting the best out of our medium. We're getting the most excitement, the most beauty, and the most creativity. Now, I totally appreciate that what I'm saying here is very personal. And many people who are absolutely amazing watercolourists abhor, they hate getting cauliflowers in their sketch. They feel it ruins it for them. They don't like loose granules, they don't want to splatter, and they don't want backwashes. And they're not wrong. This is the thing. They're not wrong at all. But I do like this stuff, and I'm also not wrong. So one of the things which can happen to anyone with their art is you can feel some sense of having to perform for other people. Someone has to like this, someone has to validate this for this to be good or be interesting. And probably that's more true with loose sketching than anything else, because loose sketching isn't a perfect representation of what's in front of us. If you've produced a perfect representation, you can go, yes, I'm really good, this is great, it looks like the thing. Whereas if you've been loose, it's so much more subjective. But all I really want to do from this video, where I give you lots of very good reasons to sketch loose, or at least what I think are very good reasons, all I really want to do is give you the confidence to feel okay in sketching loose. If that's what you want to do, then we go all the way back to the beginning, to reason 1. If you want to sketch loose, then do it. So there you go. There's my reasons to sketch loose, and with that, I can pop my little sketchbook away, and I don't need to show anyone because I enjoyed it. I really liked that bit of art, and I can move on and start sketching the next one. So with that, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy your sketching. And if you want to sketch loose, do it.